As quickly as people can say cotton candy grapes are back in Costco, International Fruit Genetics is giving us 6 new table grape varieties that they're hoping will keep you coming back for more. Here to share the new and exciting table grape varieties we can look forward to is Chief Executive Officer of International Fruit Genetics, Andy Higgins. Welcome to the show, Andy.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
First of all, tell us about International Fruit Genetics, also known as IFG.
Yeah, we're an international plant breeder, fruit breeder, creating new varieties of table grapes and sweet cherries. And our mission is to inspire the consumer with varieties that really taste good and eat well, trying to get them back into the store for more.
Well, you have my attention so far because taste good, eat well, all that sounds like fun. I most definitely have had the cotton candy grapes. In fact, when they came out, so many people in my circle were raving about them. So when I did get the chance to try them, I was hooked, and they were so sweet. How did those come to be?
Absolutely. So we're a non-GMO breeding company, and we use just traditional breeding practices to create crosses that bring the very best forward. And what we find in grapes, just like with wine, that there's lots of different varieties out there to create lots of different flavor characteristics. And through a very meticulous process, we make more than 10,000 crosses a year.
Wow.
To come up with these unique flavors. So when we stumbled across this cotton candy flavor, we thought, wow, this is something really different. And it turns out the consumers love it.
Well, when you think of cotton candy, I'm thinking of that fluffy stuff that we get at the fair or when we're out at,
Right.
a theme park or something like that.
Right.
It really didn't disappoint me. So you've been very successful with that cotton candy, and there are some new grapes that you're going to introduce.
We are, that's right. So we have a couple of them to feature. One of them would be a variety called Kokomo. And Kokomo is this wonderful tropical beach Mai Tai fruity flavors that really pop in your mouth. And we're really excited about that. That will be available in store in the U.S. here this summer. So that's one of our key lead introductions. But I'd also like to highlight an introduction called Julep. And you might think, well, that's a strange name. But what we find is that so many grapes have these kind of generic sweet or candy kind of names, and we're actually moving away from that, trying to tie in the healthy lifestyles, healthy eating, and giving choices for families that are looking for different options. And in the case of Julep, it's what I call the adult palate grape. It's a very strong, flavor-forward one that might be paired with, more stronger cheeses or adult hors d'oeuvres, this sort of thing. And so it really brings table grapes into a whole new light.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Can you describe, well, you've been describing the different tastes. Are people really able to taste the differences?
They sure can. I mean, just as you noted with cotton candy, the flavor characteristics are quite strong in some cases. We have varieties that are just standard, what we call a sweet neutral. And what we find is that there's about a 50-50 split between people looking for a grape that tastes like a grape or something very special.
And I understand you mentioned you're kind of changing the way you name them. Not only are you getting away from just like naming them after candy or something like that, but there was a traditional way that they would name grapes.
That's right, that's right. Oftentimes from the past, the grape was either named after its shape or after the season or its color. So, one of the most famous table grapes out there in the past was one called Red Globe. And you can just imagine what it looks like, right? But what we're finding is that consumers are interested in more and different options. And what we're seeing in other categories of produce, for example, in apples, almost every apple today is sold by a name. And consumers have preferences. Some like Galas, some like Fuji's, some like the new introductions. And we see the same thing happening in table grapes. And our naming is to bring the very best forward with something that's fun, whimsical, catchy, and in our case, easily translatable. We produce in 14 countries and market to over 30 markets worldwide. And so it's important for us when we come up with a name that it kind of has relevance culturally.
Oh, that makes sense. Now, Andy, you told us about a couple of the new varieties, and I have to ask, is one of those your favorite? Do you have a favorite? What are the other 4?
Yeah, so my absolute favorite is the next one I was going to feature, and that's one called Bebop. So Bebop, you might imagine, is vibrant and lively and fun, and it's a slight fruity flavor, but it just melts in your mouth. A very thin skin, wonderful red grape, and so that's my absolute favorite. And then kind of rounding out the balance of it, we have one called Quip, which is a long white finger grape, very unusual.
Oh.
It's going to go into probably specialty markets, but it kind of is going to reinvent this notion that grapes don't have to be just round. I mean, we're finding that making food fun is important to the consumer, and it inspires the shopper and to purchase more. And ultimately, in cases like Quip, its shape will be so eye-appealing that they'll want to go and take a look and say, well, what's that? Is that really a grape? And it's bringing things forward to make it fun.
That's great. Something for everyone. So you were saying some of these grapes we'll start seeing in the stores and they will be available soon. Where can viewers go for all the info on these grapes and where they can find them?
Absolutely. So our website, ifg.world, has them profiled. And all of our varieties, we have over 40 varieties of table grapes that are in the market, and they're available in supermarkets, club stores, as well as specialty markets. So they are widely available, just as you note with cotton candy. That is our claim to fame, but certainly not our bestseller today. We've got a whole lineup there that's been very successful.
All right, very nice, Andy. I feel very educated on grapes now. Thanks so much for joining us.
It is the season. Thank you so much.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.